Hey cousins, welcome back to my house. If you're new here, my name is Monie, and over here we discuss true crime events from the past and present. On today's agenda, we discuss the tragic story of Megan Kanka, a little girl who was the face of Megan's Law. Megan's Law was previously introduced to me some years ago while taking a criminal justice course, but her story recently came out again over the weekend due to Houston rapper Megan Thee Stallion. Megan discussed young Megan Kanka in her newest song titled His. I have included the link to her song below and the link to this full video.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Let's Teach channel where we research interesting facts and share information on just about any topic. In a previous video, I shared the story of Kitty Genovese and the origin of 911. When you get a minute, check that video out. In this video, I'll explore another one of the many famous crimes that changed laws. I'm talking about Megan Kanka and Megan's Law. Let's get started. Enacted in 1994, Megan's Law is arguably one of the most well-known statutes in the United States. But many aren't aware of the tragic story that led to its creation. So what really happened? Here's the case of Megan Kanka. On July 29, 1994, the parents of 7-year-old Megan Kanka were attempting to search for their daughter who had gone missing while riding her bike outside her home in Hamilton Township, New Jersey. Unfortunately, their hopes of seeing little Megan alive were dashed the following day when her body was discovered callously dumped inside Mercer County Park. The authorities were quick to determine that the perpetrator was Jesse Temendequaz, who lived across the street from the camp.
It's always somebody that you know. Like, I'm not a mom yet, but of course, like, I have brothers and I raised my brothers and I have little cousins and stuff like that, but it's usually always somebody you know that could be family, neighbors. So just be careful with these people and yeah, just be careful. Make sure you watch your kids at all times because you could be living next to the craziest person on the planet and you just don't know.
Kanka family and had already been convicted twice of sexual assault. Both of his previous victims were also very young girls. The first had been a 5-year-old from Piscataway Township, while the other was a 7-year-old girl, twice of sexual assault. Three from the Kanka family and had already been convicted twice of sexual assault.
My thing is, if they've been convicted the first time, why are they allowed to be in the community? Like, there should be a space, a place where they can just go to and just all of y'all just be together. Like, why are you able to be back into regular society and then there's kids around?
Both of his previous victims were also very young girls. The first had been a 5-year-old from Piscataway Township, while the other was a 7-year-old child, whose assault ended with him being sentenced to a 6-year imprisonment at the Adult Diagnostic and Treatment Center, or ADTC, in Woodbridge Township.
So he did it once, then he did it again, and got 6 years for it. Like, how many chances are they supposed to be allowed to get? Like, I'm someone who's all for rehabilitation and giving people second chances to get themselves right. But with certain type of crimes, like if you do a crime where you kill someone and you hurt a child in this way, in this capacity, you don't deserve those type of second chances.
Upon Temendequaz's arrest, it was found that he had lured Megan into his home by claiming that he had a new puppy before proceeding to sexually assault and then end her life via asphyxiation. Now, let's talk about the aftermath of Megan Kanka's death. The murder of Megan Kanka sent shockwaves across the entire nation, with millions of people in disbelief over the brutality that she had been forced to go through. Many were also enraged by the fact that the status of Temendequaz as a convicted sex offender had not been made known to his neighbors and to his local community. This fury was exacerbated by Megan's parents, who publicly stated that they would have never let their daughter leave their family home unsupervised had they known about Temendequaz's background. The public outcry over their statements was swift, and it didn't take long for the state to pass.
See, I know how like now it has to be a known thing if like a sex offender is in your area. Like I remember the first time I moved out on my own some years ago. Um, the police randomly popped up at my door one day and was like, "Hey, you have a sex offender in your building," and they give you the flyer with their picture, their charge, how old they are, and all of that jazz. Like, I'm glad it's a thing now, but that should have been a thing since the beginning of time. Like,
Megan's Law, which required local authorities to notify members of a community if a convicted sex offender relocated to their neighborhood. When other states followed suit, President Bill Clinton and his administration were compelled to enact a federal version of Megan's Law, which they did on May 3rd, 1996. This also led to the creation of an online registry of sex offenders, which the public could freely access.
I recommend everybody who has the time, find the time to Google sex offenders in your area, and I'm telling you, you will be shocked the amount of people that you see are registered on these lists. Sometimes you find family members on there that you had no idea about. So look into that. Know who is around you as an adult and know who is around your children. Because, again, you cannot trust anybody.
Today, different versions of Megan's Law have been introduced in all 50 states. The case also ignited a shift in the country's law enforcement. A few months after Megan's death, Time magazine reported that local groups are pressing state assemblies for tougher detention laws and parole conditions. When legislators don't respond quickly enough, citizens take it upon themselves to sound the alert. As a direct result, more and more states are enacting laws that put the interests of their community before the rights of ex-prisoners. Now, whatever happened with Jesse Temendekwas? In 1997, Temendekwas was found guilty of Megan's murder and sentenced to the death penalty. He was initially slated to be executed by lethal injection. However, this was commuted to life imprisonment without the possibility of parole when New Jersey abolished capital punishment in 2007. Well, that's it for this video. Have you ever looked at the offender registry for your area? Let's talk about it in the comment section down below. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. And hit that bell notification button so that you'll know whenever a new video is uploaded. And remember, what's learned here leaves here. Share something you learned about Megan's Law with a friend. See you later.